खलीफा के हम हैं खलीफा हमारा वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा 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 खलीफा हमारा वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to This Week with Huzoor. Today we are honoured to present highlights of a virtual mulaqat where Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Aiduhu Ta'ala bin Nasr al-Aziz graciously met with Waqi Fatino from Indonesia last weekend.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Last Sunday, Waqf Fatino from Indonesia, who were gathered in Jakarta, were blessed with a virtual mulaqat with Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V. May Allah be his helper. The program began with a formal session which included an excerpt from the writings of the Promised Messiah ﷺ and a Nazam.
An essential teaching for you is that you should not abandon the Holy Quran like a thing forsaken, for therein lies your life. Those who honor the Quran will be honored in heaven. Those who give precedence to the Quran over every hadith and every other saying will be given precedence in heaven. Today, there is no book on the face of the earth for mankind, except for the Quran.
You have memorized the whole passage?
Yes, I memorized all the texts for Huzoor.
Oh, mashallah. You have very good memory.
Thank you, Huzoor. Jazakumullah.
महाबत के नगमात गाएंगे हम आखुवत की ताने उड़ाएंगे हम जहाँ तक ना पहुँची हो आवाज़ हक वहाँ जाके कुरान सुनाएंगे हम वहाँ जाके कुरान सुनाएंगे हम वहाँ जाके कुरान सुनाएंगे हम महाबत के नगमत गाएंगे हम आखुवत की ताने उड़ाएंगे हम.
During the session, a video presentation was shown of the activities of Waqf Fatino Indonesia.
The academic education of the Waqifat starts from the elementary level to the university level. Those who have reached the university level are spread in various fields with such broad professional goals. Of course, it will be useful for the interests of the Jama'at in the future.
After the presentation, the Waqf Fatino had an opportunity to ask Huzoor questions on a range of issues.
As Waqfi now, how do we convey the message of Islam and Ahmadiyya if we are serving in medical field? Jazakallah Huzoor.
You see, I have been telling it on so many occasions. I've explained that being an Ahmadi, we should convey the message of Ahmadiyyat and true Islam. But Waqf Fatino are more responsible for this purpose. They should convey the message of true Islam and Ahmadiyyat. When you are in medical field, if your morals are good, if your attitude towards your patients is good, they will see that this doctor is somehow different from the other doctors. She is a very caring doctor. She listened to me and she sees my patient very carefully. Then she will try to know, who are you? Then you can tell them, I am an Ahmadi Muslim doctor and this is my duty, my obligation, that I should respect others and I should see my patients respectfully and carefully. So in this way you will open the avenues of tabligh. Then among your fellow doctors also, you can tell them you are Ahmadi Muslim, and if you are offering 5 daily prayers and praying, to Allah Ta'ala for your patience, then they will see that she is a good Muslim and we should see and learn more about them. This is how you can open avenues of tabligh.
If a wakifat get an educational loan from Jamaat and after graduating from college, she immediately serve the Jamaat, how should she repay the loan? Jazakallah.
You see, you can tell the Jamaat that although you took loan from the Jamaat with the intentions to repay it back to the Jamaat, but with this nominal stipend and the allowance which is given to you by the Jamaat, you are unable to pay the amount within a short period of time because the amount is quite substantial. So Jamaat can fix some small amount to repay back your loan, and then they will deduct it from your income source or your allowance. And sometime it so happens, if Jamaat wishes, they can write off the loan, but it all depends on the financial position of the Jamaat, right? Otherwise, you can just pay back a small amount every month and it will not burden you too much.
How to overcome worries regarding our future and life choices? I'm afraid that my decision will end up badly. Jazakallah.
This is why Allah Ta'ala says that whenever we are going to start anything, we should seek Allah's help. Pray to Allah Ta'ala that Allah Ta'ala makes it easy for us. And seek Allah Ta'ala's help and His guidance. If it is good for you, then Allah Ta'ala make it easy for you and make it comfortable for you and satisfy your heart in this regard. So if you feel satisfaction in your heart and you are praying to Allah Ta'ala, then Allah Ta'ala will help you and it will not end up as a bad result. But also must remember that we should always pray to Allah Ta'ala in every respect, that whatever we are doing, Allah Ta'ala always help us. We sought Allah Ta'ala's help when we started it, and we should seek Allah Ta'ala's help even while we are doing it. And till the end of our life, we should seek Allah's help and guidance. So then Allah Ta'ala will help us. And when Allah Ta'ala helps us, then the end of that thing is never bad. Right?
Thank you for your advice, Huzoor. Jazakallah.
Huzoor, is it possible for a wakifat to have an occupation after her marriage?
You see, if you are a doctor or a teacher, these are good professions. You are a student or you are a professional?
I'm just graduated from nutritionist.
This is a good profession. It helps humanity. And after the marriage, you can ask your husband. If he is happy that you continue with your work, you should continue. If he says no, you should not, then you should not do it, but voluntarily you can do it with Lajna and other Jamaati organizations or any charity organization. But there is no harm in continuing your profession even after marriage, but at least you must seek the consent of your husband. And also remember that when you start family life, when your children are born, this is the duty of the mother to look after the children, to bring them up in a good atmosphere and with all the good conditions. So your first responsibility is to take care of your household, your children, your husband. And after that, if you find some time, then you can do the job as well. And if you think that you can do justice with your profession, and at the same time you can also do justice with your children and your household affairs, then you can do both things together.
What if the parents of Waqifah asking her to withdraw from the Waqifah Now scheme while she insists to be a Waqifah? Jazakumullah.
You see, your parents offered your life for the cause of the Jamaat before your birth.
Yes.
And when you were born, then they told the Jamaat that now we had a girl or boy, whatever it is, and we want to offer her or him for the Jamaat as a Waqf-e-Nau. And at the age of 15, you renew your bond when you are quite mature and sensible that you want to continue your Waqf. When you finish your education, you say that you will continue your Waqf. So, when you are mature and you have entered the age of maturity and you have entered in Lajna-e-Maila at the age of 15, then you can take your own decision. Whether your parents like it or not, now it is up to you that you want to continue your Waqf or not. They have done their duty when you were young, but now when you are matured, you have to take your own decision. This is why we say that Waqf-e-Nau or Waqf-e-Nau should renew their bond of Waqf-e-Nau at the age of 15, then renew it further at the age of 21 or after completing your education. So if you want to continue, then it is up to you. If you want to break this bond, it is also up to you. Your parents cannot say that you break it. Waqf-e-Nau or Waqf-e-Nau themselves have to decide whether they want to continue their Waqf or want to break this bond. What do you do?
I'm on freelancing at Ismail magazine.
Now, Ismail magazine is Jamaat's magazine or?
Yes.
A Waqf-e-Nau magazine.
Waqf-e-Nau magazine.
Acha. Ismail is for boys and you are girl. You should work for Maryam magazine, not Ismail. Ismail is for boys. Let the boys do it. And you should start your own magazine with the name Maryam. Ask the men that they should continue with their magazine Ismail. And we are not going to help men. We shall start our own magazine with the name Maryam for Waqf-e-Nau girls.
Inshallah.
Right?
Inshallah, Huzoor.
Your men are lazy, they want to put their burden on your shoulder. Right? Ask your men that do your own work and we are going to do our own work.
Yeah, inshallah.
Okay?
What is Huzoor's guidance of a Waqifat who prioritizes her services in Jamaat than her duties as a student? Jazakallah.
You see, whether you are a Waqf-e-Nau or not in the scheme of Waqf-e-Nau, being a student, you should give preference to your studies first. Complete your studies, get better education, and then come forward for the help of the Jamaat and work for the Jamaat. But during the weekends, you should attend Waqf-e-Nau classes or Waqf-e-Nau ijtimas, and whenever you are on holidays, give some spare time to your Jamaat work and Waqf-e-Nau work, whatever it is given to you by your Sadr or in charge Waqf-e-Nau. But never ever at the cost of your studies. You first emphasize on your studies, complete your studies, get better education, and then you will be more beneficial and useful asset for the Jamaat, and then help the Jamaat as a Waqf-e-Nau.
मेरा सवाल ये है कि मेरे स्कूल में अहमदी और गैरअहमदी बच्चे पढ़ते हैं। कभी कभी अहमदियत पर बात होती है। मैं अपने इल्म के मुताबिक उनको जवाब देती हूँ और उनके साथ अच्छा सलूक भी रखती हूँ। इसके बारे में आपकी क्या हिदायत है कि वो अहमदियत के बारे में ज़्यादा दिलचस्पी लें?
देखो, अगर तुम नमाज़ें पढ़ती हो, स्कूल में वक्त हो गया नमाज का, तुमने नमाज़ पढ़ी, बच्चियां लड़ती हैं, बहस करती हैं, ज़ूल किस्म की गंदी ज़ुबान इस्तेमाल करती हैं, बाज़ दफ़ा गाली गलोच किसी लड़ाई हो जाए, तुम वो नहीं करती, बल्कि लोगों की सुलह कराती हो, सफाई कराती हो, लोगों को कहती हो कि अच्छी बात नहीं है लड़ना, अच्छी बातें हमें करनी चाहिए, तुम्हारे अखलाक अच्छे हैं, तुम्हारा लिबास अच्छा है, स्कूल यूनिफॉर्म भी तुम्हारा अच्छा है, सर तुम्हारा ढका हुआ है स्कूल में, तो लोग तुम्हें देखेंगे, तुम्हें समझेंगे तुम एक अच्छी मुसलमान हो, तो तुम्हारी बातें सुनेंगे और तुम जो कर रही हो बड़ा अच्छा कर रही हो। इसी तरह अपने नमूना भी दिखाओ, साथ अपने इस्लामी इल्म को भी बढ़ाओ, इस्लामी तारीख़ के इल्म को भी बढ़ाओ और जमात के इल्म को भी बढ़ाओ। और किस क्लास में पढ़ती हो?
5।
5वीं में। अच्छा, अभी तुम 11-12 साल की हो?
जी हुजूर।
11 साल की हो?
जी हुजूर।
अच्छा अच्छा, बस फिर अभी अच्छी अच्छी बातें करोगी ना तो यही तबलीग है तुम्हारी बहुत। फिर बड़ी होती जाओगी, ज़्यादा इल्म हासिल करती जाओगी, तो फिर लोग तुम्हारी तरफ तवज्जो करेंगे, जब तवज्जो करेंगे तो इस तरह तुम्हारी तबलीग भी होती जाएगी।
When we have dreams or goals and we try hard to achieve it, how do we stay happy and sincere with Allah even when we cannot reach our dreams?
You see, if you have dreams or goals according to your potential, then you should work hard and pray to Allah Ta'ala that Allah Ta'ala help you to achieve them. The first thing is that you pray to Allah Ta'ala for the achievement of your goals. Secondly, you have to work hard, or even you should say rather work hard before. That is what Allah Ta'ala says. Jahadu. First you have to work hard, then pray to Allah Ta'ala that you have done whatever was possible according to your potentials and according to your capabilities. And now Allah Ta'ala help you to achieve that. Then Allah Ta'ala inshallah will help you. You see, every person doesn't have the potential of everything. A scientist has a different mindset for his studies, and a lawyer has different mindset, and a missionary or historian, they have different thinking and concepts in their mind. So Allah Ta'ala has made human being with diverse nature. So if you are good in history, you cannot say that you can be a good chemist or scientist. A good chemist and scientist cannot be a good historian. So first you will have to see that what are the subjects of your interest, and among those subjects, which one is the best for you. Then pray to Allah Ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala will help you inshallah. Never be disappointed, work hard and pray to Allah Ta'ala, then you will achieve. And if you just leave it on the way and say, no, I have worked hard enough, no. If it was destined for you, then you will have to work hard for it. If you leave it on the way, that means you did not work according to Allah's will. Your effort will be futile.
When Huzoor is feeling sad or facing tough problems, how do you maintain your feelings and what would Huzoor do?
When you are somehow not comfortable or you have different emotions, then you have to pray to Allah Ta'ala, that Allah Ta'ala help you. Just pray in your namaz, cry hard in your sajda, and then you'll feel some satisfaction in your heart, and it will be okay.
Yes, Huzoor.
Okay.
Jazakallah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Wa
wabarakatuh.
alaikum salam.
How to instill the love for the Jamaat to the Ahmadi teenager so that they can be active in Jamaat, Huzoor. Jazakallah.
How old are you?
21 years old, my.
You are 21.
Yes, Huzoor.
When you were teenager, then how did you instill the love of the Jamaat in your heart? Your parents inspired you to work for the Jamaat, or your friends inspired you to work for the Jamaat or your Lajna organization, or you yourself, it was your inborn desire to work for the Jamaat and create the love for the Jamaat?
Actually, at first, my parents is instill the love for the Jamaat in home. Yeah.
The answer is the same. So as you had this love for the Jamaat, the same thing you should try to develop among the teenagers of the Jamaat. So first thing is that they should know why they are Ahmadis. Who is Hazrat Masih Maud Islam? Why did they do Bayat of Khilafat? Why did their parents offer them as a Waqf-e-Nau? And being a Waqf-e-Nau or being an Ahmadi Muslim, what are their duties. So if they realize their duties, then they will understand their responsibility. When they understand their responsibility, then there will be some purpose before them which they have to achieve. And for that, when they work hard and pray to Allah Ta'ala for it, then the love of the Jamaat and the work and the status of being Waqf will itself develop in their hearts. Okay?
Okay, Jazakallah Huzoor.
As a Waqifat, when we are serving as a full-time employee of Jamaat, then we get married, should we quit our service in Jamaat and be focused as a wife, or should we keep our service in Jamaat with a permission from husband?
Whatever you are doing, whether in the Jamaat or outside, after marriage, you should work with the permission and consent of your husband. Okay?
Yes.
But first thing is that you make your husband realize that if you are working for the Jamaat, it will help to increase your spiritual level as well, and the blessing of Allah Ta'ala. If you are working for the Jamaat, you are getting the blessing of Allah Ta'ala. So make your husband realize that let you work for the Jamaat. And in this way, you will be having more blessings, your family will be having more blessing of Allah Ta'ala. But if even despite that, your husband insists that no, you have to leave the work for the Jamaat, then for the time being you can leave it and keep on telling your husband and be persuasive. Tell him all the time that no, we should give some time to the Jamaat, then we can have more blessings of Allah Ta'ala. And also, a Waqf girl should tell the person whom they are going to get married and the family that being a Waqf, this is our obligation to serve for the Jamaat whenever we are asked by the Jamaat to come forward. So, I am a Waqf. Being a Waqf, it is my duty. So, you will have to understand this thing that after marriage even, I will work for the Jamaat whenever I am asked to do it.
Is there any opportunity for Indonesia Waqifah serve in other countries? And what kind of service is it? Jazakallah.
You see, it all depends that what is your education. If you are a doctor, Waqf or teacher Waqf Waqfat, then you can be sent to other countries as a Waqf teacher or doctor. But it all depends on your profession, on your education. If you are a simple graduate, then the Jamaat will ask you to serve in your own country, not outside. So, being a Waqf, you can offer yourself that now I am ready, I have completed my education. Wherever Markaz or center or Khalifa Waqt wants to send me, I will go. Then we shall decide that whether we should use your services within your country or outside your country. Okay? Yes, it is quite possible that you can be sent outside, provided we need that profession. Allah Hafiz wa Nasir. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Those were highlights from a virtual mulaqat that took place last weekend. We now end with our final segment, the Friday Sermon Summary.
In today's Friday sermon, Huzoor, may Allah be his helper, spoke regarding the martyrdom of 9 Ahmadi Muslims in a terrorist attack in Burkina Faso. Huzoor, may Allah be his helper, spoke about how these individuals were given a chance to live by denouncing their faith, but they refused, and in doing so, sacrificed their lives for the sake of their faith.
गुज़श्ता दिनों अफ्रीका के बर आज़म के मुल्क बुकीना फ़ासो में जो इश्क वफ़ा और इखलास और ईमान और यकीन से पुर अफराद जमात ने जो नमूना मजमूई तौर पर दिखाया है वो हैरत अंगेज़ है। اپنی مثال آپ ہیں، جن کو موقع دیا گیا کہ مسیح موعود کی صداقت کا انکار کرو اور اس بات کو تسلیم کرو کہ عیسیٰ علیہ السلام آسمان پر زندہ ہیں اور آسمان سے اتریں گے، تو ہم تمہاری جان بخشی کر دیتے ہیں۔ لیکن ان ایمان اور یقین سے پر لوگوں نے، جن کا ایمان پہاڑوں سے زیادہ مضبوط نظر آتا ہے، جواب دیا کہ جان تو ایک دن جانی ہے، آج نہیں تو کل۔ اس کے بچانے کے لیے ہم اپنے ایمان کا سودا نہیں کر سکتے۔ جس سچائی کو ہم نے دیکھ لیا ہے اسے ہم چھوڑ نہیں سکتے، اور یوں ایک کے بعد دوسرا اپنی جان قربان کرتا چلا گیا۔ ان کی عورتیں اور بچے بھی یہ نظارہ دیکھ رہے تھے، اور کوئی واویلا کسی نے نہیں کیا۔ بس یہ وہ لوگ ہیں جنہوں نے افریقہ میں بلکہ دنیائے احمدیت میں اپنی قربانیوں کی ایک نئی تاریخ رقم کی ہے۔ حضرت مسیح علیہ السلام کے اس زمانے کے بعد جو حضرت صاحب کی قربانی تھی، اپنی دنیاوی زندگیوں کی قربانی دے کر ہمیشہ کی زندگی حاصل کرنے والے بن گئے، جنہوں نے جان، مال، وقت کو قربان کرنے کا جب عہد کیا تو پھر نبھایا، اور ایسا نبھایا کہ بعد میں آ کر پہلے آنے والوں سے سبقت لے گئے۔ اللہ تعالیٰ ان میں سے ہر ایک کو ان بشارتوں کو وارث بنائے جو اللہ تعالیٰ نے اس کی راہ میں قربانیاں کرنے والوں کو دی ہیں۔